these switchbacks on our way to Flattop. What's the name of the mountain, Joe?
What's that?
What's the name of the mountain?
Flattop.
Flattop. So, we got a series of switchbacks here before we get to the July campsite. We got off about 6 o'clock this morning, so we're taking advantage of the cool. Nice day. There are views, and there are vistas, and there are spectacles. This is a spectacle. That's a spectacular spectacle. He's cleaning his spectacles, actually.
And then there are dirty spectacles.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day. We're at 11,268 feet or something like that on our way up to Flattop. Like dipping your head in a cold stream right there. Cools you right off. We're almost to the more level spot coming up the mountain to Flattop. Passing some cairns along the trail. Easy to spot. Let's see what time it is. Coming up close to 10 o'clock. We're a couple miles away. This is the 3-mile mark here from our camp, right where the stream crosses the trail. So we're making okay time. Sun's out. Glad we got an early start for some cool temperatures this morning. Moving on. It's very windy, so I'll talk loud if I can get over the wind. We're on Flattop Mountain, gazing towards the Estes Park direction. Beautiful. Wow. Spectacular. Vista. Oh my goodness. Marvelous. We'll just drink this one in. of elk moving through right over yonder. Just past Flattop Mountain. About 1:45 in the afternoon. We heard about them from another hiker, Trail Music, we just talked to, and he said we were about 5 minutes away from them. And here they are, sure enough. We about 4 o'clock this afternoon, we made it to our Granite Falls campsite. Yeah. Post-apocalyptic is the descriptive words that Paul was using. And here's, I'm going to go between this tree, this burnt dead tree, and that burnt dead tree there. Should be an interesting night. All right, let's see how it goes. The plans. We're gonna go between these two trees here. It's not as much of a hike up the hill. My buddies are right over there. So once again, here's evidence of the effects of heat on a granite rock. Cracked and flaking. Amazing. So in the post-apocalyptic scene, which is Granite Falls, I have my canopy up. We just went down to the stream, resupplied, took a bit of a bath, kind of had a sponge bath in my shirt there. Socks are hanging up there. And I found an adjustable height pole, so I can adjust it to whatever height I need, depending on how much exposure I want. Anyway, gotta get the rest of it put up and then get supper made. It's 20 after 5. There's been some thunder in the distance, so we want to make sure we have stuff up before it rains. I'll have more comments about this day later on. I need to get some work done first. So this is a little bit of a sketchy connection. The half burnt out pine tree, but I think it's probably thick enough, strong enough to hold me, as long as that piece there doesn't just sort of cave in. Wow, what an experience. The sun is going down on day 4 of our Rocky Mountain National Park Continental Divide Trail Loop backpacking trip. This is August 4th, 2022. I've got a different shirt on because I was letting my other one dry. We went down to the stream down here, Granite Falls, and resupplied water and did a little bathing and laundry. Felt great. It's cold water. Oh my goodness, is that cold water. Very refreshing. Soaked my feet, gave myself a sponge bath with one of my socks, at least my upper body anyway, and washed my shirt and letting it dry. It's been a long, hard day. And we were up at 6 in the morning. I probably posted that in another video, but I was up at 4 o'clock, started to put my stuff away, get dressed, and we were all out of camp on the trail by 6 o'clock, so we timed that just right. It was nice that we did, nice and cool. Early in the morning, some super steep climbs, switchbacks, 2 sets of switchbacks. When we were getting up there around 11,000 feet, I was starting to get, well, probably closer to 11,000 feet, a little above 11,000 feet. I was starting to get a little lightheaded. And I was a little bit concerned about falling off the edge of the trail because it's not it's not a recoverable experience. Let me just put it that way. It goes all the way down. You don't want to fall off the trail. You don't even look down the trail unless you're stopped or sitting or doing something. But it was a great experience. Beautiful views. I'll post some pictures of the vistas and the spectacles that we saw when we were there. Just a wonderful, wonderful scenery. Tons of super gorgeous wildflowers along the trail. I probably didn't get pictures of them all. I got quite a few at the one place where we stopped and just took a rest. There was a stream coming off the mountain and some just gorgeous flowers I've never seen before. It was just amazing. Stopped for lunch at the trail intersection where one trail goes back down to the other park. The name evades me now, I can't think of it. And then there's another trail that goes up to like Shark's Tooth or some other peak that's nearby. Estes Park is the other park the trail goes down to. But after luncheon, that was a very refreshing lunch. My feet felt rested afterwards, and had a couple of tortilla shells and peanut butter and honey, some water. It was wonderful. We ran into a couple of hikers, one the father and son. The son came first and the father after that. Real chill guys, just really fun to talk to him. And then ran into another guy, Trail Music with a K. He's done some hiking on the AT. His son did the PCT before. Had a nice chat with him. I might include a little bit of a video from him. I don't know, we'll see. I made a video of him telling me about a place in Georgia, not too far from Amicalola Falls near Springer, that is sort of not a well-known place to eat, but comes highly recommended from him anyway. So I had a nice chat with Trail Music. And then he told us that we were about 5 minutes away from a herd of elk. And sure enough, we saw a herd of elk, and it was a large herd, and they were moving. It was fascinating to watch them watch us. And the leaders in the front would sort of just make sure everything was safe, and then they'd go running off, and the rest of the herd would follow. And they had sort of sentinel bucks that were on the sides and in the back, kind of keeping the herd moving and making sure that they were safe. We saw them a couple of other times as well, because they were traveling in the same direction as the trail went. And then they disappeared over a hill, and we didn't see them again. But I don't know, there was probably 60, 80, 100, I don't know. It was a large herd of elk anyway. Fun to watch, fun to see on the trail. Came back down. It rained on us just a little bit, but just sprinkled this afternoon. And then we came down, and it was downhill after that, pretty much all downhill, which was nice. Seemed like it took forever, though, to get to our campsite here at Granite Falls. And, I've got some pictures. Here's my hammock for the night. Surrounding area looks like this. And my buddies are, you can't see them. They're over the little hump there on the other side of my hammock. We called it the post-apocalyptic look of a campsite. Everything is charred and burned. There are no live trees here at all from the forest fire that went through a couple of years ago. So it's kind of a charred mess. But hey, great view of the sky, no obstructions, and we shouldn't have too many bear visitors, I don't think, because I don't think that they like the open spaces. We put our canisters up on the hill behind a bare rock up there. Hopefully we won't have any visitors tonight in camp. Tomorrow's our last day on the trail. We'll come off the trail tomorrow. And Paul canceled the reservations at the motel. I don't know where it was at, but we're just not exactly sure what our time schedule is going to be. It's a pretty easy, I think it's about 8 miles back into the trailhead from where we're at right now. Pretty much all downhill or level, easy walking, no rocky slopes to speak of. Well, we'll find out, I guess, but according to Paul, it's an easy hike. We'll get cleaned up and eat some lunch and get on the road and see how far we get. So if we get to eastern Colorado or somewhere in west central Nebraska somewhere. We'll see how far we get and then drive the rest of the way home on Saturday. So we'll be arriving sometime on August 6th. We'll get back home. We've run into some really interesting folks on the trail. Friendly, chatty. There's another campsite here at Granite Falls. We thought there was only one campsite to begin with, and there were already tents there. And so who's in our spot? Who's sleeping in Papa's bed tonight? Anyways, we've tracked the folks down. They were down at the stream, and they said, well, there's another campsite just the other direction, and so then that's the one that we found here. We can see their campsite from up here. The one gentleman came up and struck a conversation with us, and super nice guy. So we chatted with him and made some connections, and it's just been that way all along. Ran into 4 trail maintenance crew folks today as we were hiking into this campsite, and just young folks, super strong. Paul said it reminded him of how grateful he was that he wasn't having to carry a chainsaw. We're all grateful that we don't have to carry chainsaws, just packs with our sustenance and protection in it, and that's it. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. It's almost 8 o'clock tonight. The sun is just now disappearing. As you can see, it's dimming. It's just disappearing over the horizon of the mountain right now. There it is right there. Yeah. So 8 o'clock means it's almost 10 or 11 o'clock backpacker time. 9 o'clock I've heard is backpacker midnight, so it's just time to go to bed. Anyway, we'll catch up again tomorrow sometime. We'll have a fairly early start, but not significantly early like we did this morning, because we don't have that far to go. But we're going to try and eat a little bit more of the food that we have, so we don't have to pack it out. I brought way too much food, and so I need to make some notes about that when I get home. What I need, what I don't need. Too many snacks, too many sweets. I didn't eat all of those. Didn't eat all of those. Some of them are okay, but not that many. Anyway, from the charred remains of the Granite Falls campsite, this is Zumbro, and appropriately saying, stay green and keep growing.